A good credit rating is the most valuable thing we have when it comes to financial independence. According to companies that provide credit counseling services and credit repair help, such as United Credit Education Services, the information in our credit reports is often inaccurate. With the help of people like George Cole, president of United Credit Education Services, thousands of people are learning how to build good credit. Welcome.
Thank you.
A great way to start the new year.
Absolutely.
Tell us about probably the biggest misconception about credit.
Well, basically, people feel that credit cannot be restored. The credit reporting agencies have done a great job in creating a myth to make people think that you cannot remove negative information off your credit report. People need to know that the three major credit reporting agencies are privately owned. Therefore, they're in business to make money. There's no law that says that they even have the right to report credit. Credit reporting is a voluntary system, and they take the information and sell it to creditors, potential creditors, and etc. So therefore, you do have a right to challenge the information on its accuracy, erroneous, outdated information, to have that information legally removed off your credit report, which will now give you a better life, help you to be able to borrow at lower interest rates, and to really help create generational wealth for yourself.
Well, tell us something about your organization and how you got started with it.
Well, basically, I always felt that there was a great need for it. I was in software sales. I made a good deal of money, but I had bad credit. This was over 10 years ago. So it was almost like your education, your hard work was a wash, because I gave it back in high interest rates, everything that I worked for to earn. So therefore, it was no difference between me or anyone else. In order for me to really utilize my powers, my talents, my skills, I needed to get my credit corrected. I couldn't find any resources to professionally do it. You have those people that say they can do it and take your money, unfortunately. But the thing about it is, what we have to focus on, there was someone who was able to do it. It got my credit restored. It helped me to be able to start my own business. It helped me to become independent. It helped me to help other people across the country, because once I learned what the credit reporting agencies are all about, and then understanding the power of credit and how to leverage credit to build assets and not build liabilities, it made me a better person, and my job is to make other people better all across the country.
And your organization, I should say, is a 501c3 not-for-profit organization.
100%.
So now everybody's going to be saying, where can I talk to him? So how would someone use your services?
Well, basically, someone would use our services who are paying high interest rate on their homes, paying high interest rate on their cars, or don't have the ability to get a car or home, or want to understand how to budget, how to get themselves back on track. I don't care where you're at in life, we can help you. I don't care how old you are. If you don't have a home yet, you're 55 years old, you know what? It's not too late. Buying a home at a good interest rate is the #1 thing that you can do to secure your retirement. The game is not over until you think it's over. If there's no enemy within, the enemy outside can do you no harm. So what I suggest for people is to get courageous, to be bold, to understand that you have to take the next steps to understand how to utilize credit, how to work credit, because you could become very wealthy off of leveraging your credit. Opportunity in this city of Atlanta is phenomenal.
Well, people are hearing that and saying, okay, now where do I start? How do I even know what my credit score is?
Well, what you can do is you can go to annualcreditreport.com, and the Congress passed laws to force the credit reporting agencies to be more friendly to consumers and to help them to get a credit report, because for so many years they wouldn't even let you see your credit report or your scores, and you wonder why that is. But nevertheless, the whole thing about it is that now you can go to annualcreditreport.com, get your credit report, but they're going to charge you $5 for your score.
Once you get it, then how do you interpret it?
Well, it's complicated sometimes, there's all kind of little symbols on a credit report that a lot of times the human eye cannot understand. But people can get a hold of me. I will help them, walk them through, let them help them to understand their credit report and their credit dilemmas, and we'll be there to help to get it corrected for them.
What's considered a good score?
Well, a good score would be considered around 700 and above. Approximately over 2 years ago, the national credit score average was around 750. Now the national credit score average is like 656. That means that there's a lot of derogatory information being reported. There's new derogatory information being reported that people are totally unaware of. Like if you have a parking ticket and it's not paid approximately 30 days after it's due, that's going to hit your credit report.
Wow.
Traffic tickets that are not paid, not only you won't have just a warrant going out on you, but that information is going to hit your credit report. This is new information that normally has not been normally reported, but now is being reported because it creates more revenue for the credit reporting agencies, and their sale to the library people to put on an overdue 30-day book is that you can keep your inventory up higher if you report them to the credit report agency. Now they'll run that information, but what that also does is it drives the credit scores down. Just one slow payment, one negative item hit your credit report, you can go from 750 to 680, 670, which puts you in a whole nother interest rate bracket, which robs America from their wealth. They're paying more for their goods and services. We spend too much for common goods. The credit reporting agencies also pretty much have the Georgia Power or the gas companies, etc., to use credit scores to determine their BTU rate and their therm rate. What does a credit score have to do with a basic utility? Why does the poorest people in the country have to pay the most for basic utilities? People need to understand by having good credit will help increase your lifestyle, your quality of life, help to keep more money in your pocket, help you to be able to budget and do all other things.
Well, we certainly appreciate you coming on and sharing just a little bit, and I enjoy your passion about it. And I'm sure that phone's going to start ringing, and they're going to be calling us and going to the website as well. If you would like to understand your credit or how to utilize your credit wisely, you can visit www.vrtwg.com/president or call 404-237-1150.